Hi, it's me again. I'm back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for the longest time. If you know anything about me, you know anything about me personally, I love anime. I love manga. I have watched my first anime when I was like 5 or so, and it was on Toonami on Cartoon Network, you know, channel 58. If you know, you know. And after that, I was so interested in, I wanted to figure out how I can get more access to this anime. But you know, back then we only had like TVs and VHS and some CDs and things like that, and not a lot of things were being translated besides on things like 4Kids and Toonami. So I just started to go to my library. So I went to the library, and at the library I went to the teen section, and it was just all the anime books, which I learned was manga, and it had all the things that I had been watching and caring about and looking into. So I was like, oh yeah, this is it. So I remember I would go there every day after school since I started, you know, not even, it was in, yeah, ever since I started first grade. So ever since I started first grade, I would try and go to the library and borrow books, but it was quite hard because at that point, the library was pretty far away from where I lived. So we had some internet at home, so I started using websites to read manga on the internet. But when I think it was third grade, my school got renovated and the library was attached to my school. So it was like one big building, like the public library. So after that, it was GG. I was just going there every single day. Like I would run there. How do I say? Because I was in the gifted class. But what happened in that classroom was I was a talkative student, but I also learned really fast and finished things really fast. So like whatever we had planned for that day, I would finish it in like the first half to the first quarter of the day, depending on the structure. And the teacher would just send me out, like, get out, you're being a distraction. So I would go to the library, I'd get the library pass and just go there and like literally sit on the computer and read the manga and try to watch anime, but it was quite hard to watch anime back then. And I would just be there for hours and hours and hours. Like that's like one of the main things I remember from my childhood is just going to the library, getting on the computer and watching as many that I could, reading as many that I could, just all day, every day. So like I was always at the top of the leaderboard for how many books I read, but a lot of kids were upset because they're like, oh, those aren't real books because it's mostly pictures. And I'm like, you're a hater, be quiet. So I would just go there every single day and read. And then at the end of the day, before I had to go back to class, I think my teachers made me come back like the last 30 minutes to like clean up and go home. So run back, clean up, and then run back to the library before the bus pulled off because we had like a big bus loop, and if you missed the bus then it was just done. So I would run back to the library and then check out the books because I think there was a rule that we couldn't check out books during the middle of the day, so I had to wait until the end of the day. And I would just go check out a bunch of books and then run to my bus with maybe like 10 or 15 books in the bag, and I would go home and dissociate from life and just read as many books. But it wasn't just manga. I would also read like light novels, not light novels, those weren't, were they around? I didn't read those, but I read a lot of traditional novels, and most of them are fantasy. So I would just do that in my free time. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick, so my voice sounds gross. I didn't hear it until, you know, just now. But yeah, I would just go and read and read and read and read and read and read and read. So yeah, this is all just backstory to explain like why I'm such a fan of this genre, because it's been a part of my life and like my escapism since I was literally a child. So the thing that I want to talk about today, my top Tensura. Okay, so if you know anything about me, you know I collect figurines, I collect books, I collect everything. When I left America, that was like one of the saddest things for me because I left maybe like 300 books back. It was so sad. It was like all the books that I collected throughout my life that were gifted to me or that I purchased from teachers and other adults in my life who just love to nurture my reading talent, because, you know, I used to be a speed reader. I don't know if I technically am anymore. I feel like I still can, but only if I have like the audio playing. Like I'll listen to a book on 3x speed and just read with the voice. My internal voice is really ugly, so it's like like a chain smoker. So I don't like to read books in my head too much. Like that's why I like to listen to the other person read it to me, so I can whatever. But it's not like that with every book. Like some books they don't have audio, so I have to do that. But either way, I'm like reading physically and then listening, because like I said, I have aphantasia, so I have to do certain things so that I can hear voices of other characters or feel things. Other than that, what I wanted to talk about, the main thing is Tensura. And I want to talk about my boo, my baby, my child, not Killua today, but Rimuru. This is like, how do I describe it? When I first discovered Tensura, cultural reset. Like there's nothing else that I can explain, because up until then, like I had been reading stories and I had like my top five or whatever, but they were all kind of like whatever. Like I knew at that point that number one was Hunter x Hunter, but then two, three, and four I was like, is it Fruits Basket, is it Bleach, is it Inuyasha, oh, is it, this one's kind of corny, but but Soul Eater, is it Tokyo Ghoul, and those would like all kind of be an amalgamation of like which one is which. I didn't know which one was number two. But then after I read and saw Tensura, cultural reset. For me, oh my gosh. Sorry. Camera, I'm sorry. Okay. For me, it like set the tone. Like it set my standard for like what I expect in good world building and in a good anime and a good light novel and a good manga, like everything. And that first season, it had me shook. After I watched the first season, I was like, oh, I need more immediately. So I went to see the resources online, and unfortunately, there was nothing being published, that many in English. Like the stuff that had been published was up until where the anime was. So I was like, oh, I don't have anything. So then I kept researching, and then I found that Fuse posted the web novel, which is like free. And I read through the entire thing. I think it was like 500 chapters in maybe a week. I was just reading all day, every day. It like consumed me. I was in there all day. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I love this show. I love this show. And after that, I think eventually, like maybe 6 months after that, I had to move to Taiwan. And I was like, well, I can't bring all my books, but I know for sure I'm bringing my Tensura ones. So I put those in my suitcase. I put the figurines in my suitcase. And, ever since then, the collection has grown. But I have been limiting how many I can buy of one character, because I think I have 4 Rimurus at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have 4 Rimurus. And I said, I'll get one more that's like really, really cool that I want. And other than that, I'm going to leave it alone. But yeah, so it was like just a factory reset for me. Like it scratched everything that I wanted scratched. Like it has the gore, it has the serious themes, it has a strong story, it has a great protagonist who's not perfect, who's flawed, and is imperfect and is hypocritical and has all the things that I look for. And it's also crazy. And also non-binary. Oh my gosh, he doesn't have a gender because he's a slime. So it was just like, all the things that I was looking for, it was like scratching those itches. So yeah, I still love Hunter x Hunter, but Hunter x Hunter is like permanently sat at number 2, and Tensura is permanently sat at number 1 for me, because I already know how it ends, but I know that Fuse has worked with Mitzvah and other people in the studios to make sure that there's certain things that are different. Like even from the web novel, when I was reading the web novel versus when I purchased the light novel, there's like certain things that have been like completely cut or changed, because that was one thing that I had an issue with the web novel, is like towards the end, fights were feeling like repetitive. Like if there was a big fight, it's like, okay, it felt like the same thing was happening over and over again, because I think Fuse is like me, where Mans is a certified yapper. So anyway, with the light novel, like a lot of those imperfections have been smoothed out, and then I still read the manga even though I know it's going to happen, just because I want to see the art. And that helps me for when I reread the light novels, I can see more of the scenes and like add in more context. So yeah, I really like that. And then as I wait for the anime, because I'm definitely going to be watching that, and I'm just waiting for them to drop like the full set, maybe like I think they usually do it every 5 inputs or so for the Japanese versions, and I'm just gonna buy the full set. Hopefully they translate it within the next couple of years, but if I have to go to Japan and get it in Japanese, I'll just do it. I don't care. Yeah, so my main thing, I want to talk about the story. So I don't want to spoil too much, but I just want you to know, like, think of a story where it's an isekai. I know isekai is like a lot of problematic, blah, blah, blah. Like the first season does have a decent amount of fan service, but it tones down from then. Like if you read the regular novel, like there's almost none. I think they just added in because it's necessary for the Japanese fandom, but I feel like once they realized the fans who watch it didn't really like it, it just toned down from the second season onwards, so you don't really have to deal with it or see it that much, because the elf thing was annoying. The first season, I'm like, what does this have to do with the plot? Oh, it's for fan service. Got it. As I'm like, every time I rewatch the story, it's like, I don't know, like, even though I know what's going to happen, I'm still highly motivated to see it and know. And I've never had that with any other story besides Hunter x Hunter. Like Hunter x Hunter, I pretty much rewatch it every 2 to 3 years. And Tensura, I rewatch it like every couple months. Like I really, really love this show. So how can I say this? I'm trying not to just yap about my fixation on this show, but it's just, think of a really well-written show that's like really connecting to people, and it's just beautiful art, beautiful characters, great character arts. Like the thing with Shizu, like I don't want to spoil it, but it's in the first season, so you guys will see the majority of it in the first season. There's other stuff that happens later, but I don't want to spoil it too much. But just her character arc and Rimuru's interaction with that and the connection that she makes, like culturally and everything to like full circle to see like, oh, this is your home and this is how it was after what happened to you. And even with like Chloe and Hinata, like all of these people, like they have such an impressive story, and it just all comes back. It's I'm trying not to like yap too much, but basically what I want to say is like Tensura, it just set my standard for what I expect of an isekai and what I expect of an anime and a manga and a light novel and everything series, because I really love world building and I love to be fully immersed in something. Like when I'm watching Tensura, I can fully suspend my disbelief and fully immerse myself in that world, and I've never been able to do that with any of the anime or manga or anything that I've read before. Like even though I already know what's going to happen, new chapters get dropped, I'm reading it. New books come out, I'm buying it. Like it makes me so happy, and I'm hoping that other people can also see Tensura and want to care about it. Like, I just think it's very, 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 very good and very like valuable for people. And I don't know what else to say besides just watch it, because I'm trying not to spoil anything, but just know that there's some characters in there who you can really see their character development, and it doesn't feel cheated. Like everything feels earned. Like it's not one of those stories where, oh, it's just in endless pro tag power up and it just everything is like cheat or unfair. Like there are stakes and things. Like there are people who die and they don't come back, and there are people who die and they do come back, but it doesn't feel like a cheat. Like you see the pathway to it and you see how unfair it is, and then later like you learn why certain things seem so unfair and so unchallenged, and it's because there's a character who is in the background. She's spoiled in the first season, I think on the 11th or no, not 11th, 23rd or 24th episode. It's like a ghost lady. I'm not going to spoil too much more than that, but she is basically in charge of like making sure certain outcomes are met. She's like the autosave feature. So if something in the universe doesn't happen the right way, she goes back and tries to get Rimuru on the right path, because there have been many, many alternate realities where things did not work out for him and things failed and literally everything came to an end. So they knew that like he is the key to success basically. And I don't want to spoil more than that, but all I want to say is like, if you love a wholesome, genocidal, crazy, hypocritical, delusional, aggressive pro tag, then I just say watch Tensura. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So I'm just gonna throw this video up really quickly. It's probably just gonna be me ranting. I don't care, because you know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I have been sick on and off, and you know I'm busy with work and other commitments and trying to study and do everything. But yeah, I just wanted to throw out a quick video, so I'm gonna just throw this up. I'm probably not gonna edit it, and peace. Bye.